Hi everyone, this is Jake, your resident content cowboy here, yeehaw, and I wanted to talk about Mass Effect Legendary Edition. Why? Well, because I think it sounds terrible? I know what you're thinking. Jake, you're kind of being a hater here. Let me lay out my Mass Effect credentials. I love Mass Effect. I love Mass Effect 1. I love Mass Effect 2. I love Mass Effect 3-ish. It's the best series that BioWare has created. Not the best game. Their best game is Dragon Age Origins without question. But we have to recognize who BioWare is right now and what they are making. And this doesn't sound good. I want to play you some snippets of an IGN preview. I think this is a good preview, by the way. I am not saying anything bad about it. I actually really like this preview, and I think they're being relatively honest about this game. But I want to play some of it for you and kind of show you how this game sounds like it's not gonna be good. And I'll talk more about why I think so a little bit later. I hope it's good. I want to point that out. I don't want this to be bad. I just don't even know what to say when I'm hearing some of the things about this remaster. Important term, by the way, remaster. There is not a lot being done to this game that is exciting. In fact, they're taking things out of it. All right, let's get to it.
We got a hands-off demo. What was your initial reaction?
My initial reaction is that this is basically what we've been doing. We've been modding for 10 years now on the Mass Effect trilogy.
Whoa, it's what's been being modded for 10 years? That doesn't sound good at all.
I think that in the context of games like Resident Evil 2, it might seem maybe a little underwhelming.
A little underwhelming? You're telling me they've done almost nothing. I'd say that's really underwhelming.
Yeah, I think it's fair to adjust, and to be fair to EA and BioWare.
Yeah.
And we need to be fair to EA and BioWare in this moment. Let's not forget that they're one of the largest video game companies in the world, and they just don't have time to make this good.
They have not pitched this as a remake. They have said it's a remaster, but I still think it's important for us to kind of hammer that difference home.
See, they haven't pitched it as a remake. It's a remaster, and we have to be fair to them. They told us it's gonna suck, so we can't be mad that they're not doing anything.
And this is just a polishing.
Whoa, just a polishing? Where do I give you my money?
And if you could, like, one word to describe what you've seen so far would be
extremely underwhelming and not worth the money and a quick cash grab, so hopefully BioWare doesn't go out of business by the time you make Dragon Age 4 because everything they've made lately is terrible. Ooh, that's more than one word.
I mean, it's an update, right?
Yeah.
It's an update, all right. Ah!
You do not continue seamlessly. After you complete a game, you'll go back to the launcher menu.
Not a big deal, but okay.
Then they also brought in a lot of people, a lot of influencers, cosplayers, interestingly enough, and had them give a lot of feedback.
They brought in a lot of cosplayers to give a lot of feedback.
Now, one of the big things that will stand out is that multiplayer will not be in Mass Effect 3. They said that the reason they're not doing this is because it's just going to be too much work.
Oh my god, you were gonna have to work on this game? I don't want that. No, take it out. Hey, is there anything I can do for you? Oh my god, I can't believe you might have had to work on this.
The scope, the crossplay, and over again, they were saying, we want to keep the scope of this project under control.
Oh, I love hearing that they want to keep the scope of this under control so that they can make a bunch of money and not spend time working on it.
In the beginning, when Mac Walters, the project director, who's a veteran of the entire Mass Effect series at BioWare, we looked at moving the whole thing to Unreal Engine 4, which is the current version. Unreal Engine 5 is due to ship to developers later this year. And he starts basically, if I interpreted it correctly, I don't know about what you think, but it basically seems like porting to Unreal Engine 4 would have been too much work.
Gosh, I would just hate the thought of people working and then I pay them money for a product I want. That would be terrible. All of this just makes me so glad that they didn't put in a lot of work. Am I crazy?
That still kind of deflated me a little bit during the presentation when I was like, because man, it would look completely modern and amazing without being a full-on remake if it could have been done in Unreal 4.
Yeah, but for them to do that, they would have needed to work on this project. I don't want anybody to work on the project.
Yeah, I think the justification was a little odd because they were saying, Well, it would feel like a totally different game. I'm like, is that a bad thing for a game that came out 13 years ago?
Right.
Right. She's right.
I think the character models have a slight improvement in, like, say, from Mass Effect 3, but a huge improvement from the original Mass Effect.
Whoa, the character models are better from a 13-year-old video game? That's big, but only slightly better from the last one.
I couldn't believe how long the elevator rides were in the previous game. They were like almost a minute, sometimes more. And oh my gosh, it felt like an eternity as they were riding up the elevator. They did a great side by side with the one that the newly remastered version finishing in about 18 seconds or thereabouts. And you can actually skip through the conversations if you want to.
Wow. A problem from the original Mass Effect dealing with loading has been fixed. Yay!
In terms of just being a remaster, I feel like it ticks almost all of the boxes.
Oh, I'm getting a phone call. Yeah? How's the new video game? Well, if you only think about it in terms of a remaster and you don't have any expectations and you don't want them to have done any work, it ticks all the boxes. Hello? You're not real? I guess my thought here is this. I love Mass Effect. But we have to remember what studio is working on this. They're the people who brought you this.
All right, what happened?
To who?
To whom? And your goddamn father. Sorry, my face is tired from dealing with everything.
And this. And this. No, just kidding about that last one. They didn't do Diddy Kong Racing, but man, can you imagine if they did? In some ways, I'm happy that they didn't mess with it too much because I don't trust them as a company anymore. They're not the BioWare they used to be. But I don't think it's unreasonable to say that all of this sounds pretty underwhelming.
And this is just a polishing.
At least they're going to charge you full price for it. So there's my video. That's why I think Mass Effect Legendary Edition sounds pretty bad. Let me know what you think in the comments. Like, comment, subscribe. I really appreciate it. And hey, maybe you disagree. Maybe I'm a big old jerk. That's fine too. Love you. See you next time. Mwah!
Well, it would feel like a totally different game. I'm like, is that a bad thing for a game that came out 13 years ago?
Right. Yeah, that's fair. Now, but there was good news for players that like playing